But there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
We will not go quietly into the night.
It is your killer instinct which must be harnessed if you expect to survive in combat.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Remember this day, man, or it will be yours for all time.
What keeps you awake at night?
Nothing. I keep other people awake at night.
Hey, it's Thursday night, and welcome to episode number 69 of the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show.
If there are no hammer comments out of this, I'll be very disappointed. I'm watching.
Yes. Hammer comments. Need lots of them. It is our Christmas episode. Call it whatever you want. Like, remember growing up when we watched Saturday morning cartoons or whatever, and they'd have this title of an episode that was like Samurai Ninja Powered Extra Special. You know, it was just this long title. You don't remember that?
No. I don't remember Saturday morning cartoons on PBS.
You watch PBS?
Yeah, we were poor.
Oh, jeez. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful Colorado Ranch. Please share the show. Let's get some folks in here. Tag your friends. It's very easy. I see a lot of people already tagging their friends. And we have a tradition here called the Overachiever Award. And tonight's Overachiever Award... Oh, that first one we just got to delete. That one doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the one that said first doesn't matter.
Company employees are not eligible to win.
Yes. So Carl Lindell from Battleborn Apparel, he gets the Overachiever of the night. He says, "What's going on?" So yes, we are here at episode 69 of the show. And the show is powered by the Alliance. Please head on over and sign up for the Alliance at www.valkenalliance.com and join your local regional Facebook group. Connect with other players and teams in your area and just promote the sport. Because if we don't promote it, nobody else will, and everybody else will just poop on it. So
try and get themselves killed in Mexico.
And the region we are featuring tonight is the Midwest region. Extends all the way from Oklahoma through Kansas, Wisconsin, Indiana, but not Ohio. Ohio was booted out. They're in the northeast.
Timothy wants to know. My apron is under the Christmas tree, and I wasn't going to send you a thank you until I acquired the Mr. Potato Head. Thank you very much, Timothy. It was very thoughtful, and they're under the tree and will be appreciated by my family. So,
yes,
yeah.
So, hammer comment. Tell them about the hammer comment.
Hammer comment of the night is a savage, hilarious, or witty comment that almost gets you banned, but not quite. So we've had witty, we've had funny, but as far as savage, it's, I don't know.
Javier was savage. He was going.
Javier's pretty savage. Javier's also effed in the head, but it's like keyboard cowboys. It's like they go live, and if their name's attached to the comment, then it's like.
Oh my gosh! So who do we got? Do we have any production crew tonight or no?
No. Gave him the night off
because it is almost Christmas.
Yeah.
If you didn't notice.
I mean, the intern couldn't stop laughing about episode 69.
Balls. Yeah, Josh is scratching his head on the garland. So who do we got in the chat?
Been tested? When was the last time? I want to see the paperwork, Javier.
Oh, we got Jesse Lopez.
Who pinned the comment? Who's the moderator tonight?
Well, it would be our AI mod.
Which one?
0.5?
The dumb or the dumber one?
0.5?
I can only guess by who pinned the comment because I have to scroll to look to see who joins.
Let's see, we got Jesse Lopez saying, it's Taco Thursday. Hey, Fritz, what's up? Fritz from Legion down in Texas. Hey, we got Derek Moguns in the house. We got Dreads Airsoft. He said...
Simon Racco.
Dreads is hurt. No one tagged him. He just joined in all on his own. We got Greg Alexander watching from KWA.
Well, they do say the strong man strongest alone, so...
That's true. That's true. We got Airborne Tim. We got Bacon. Bacon in the house. I'm trying to see if I can get Canadian Tim in here watching. So tag your friends. We got a new format.
Javier, don't tempt me because I will be right there with the lard and the back rub. It's good for the skin.
Oh, Paco's watching. Oh, he got out of Facebook jail.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's out of Facebook jail today.
Did he throw money at that GoFundMe for the wall?
I don't know.
Have you seen that?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. So we have a new format. Normally we would switch into events during this time, but we're going to put events at the end of the show and get straight into our guest. But real quick, we're just going to run a quick commercial. So share the show. Get your friends in here. Oh, because if you share the show and we get some folks in here, we're going to be giving away some stuff. We got a Phantom Duffel Bag and backpack up for grabs. We got a AEG with a rechargeable stock.
Do you know why they call them Phantom?
No, why do they call them
Because
Phantom?
you never see them anywhere.
More like a Nanja. And a little birdie told me that some Guardian Apparel we're going to be giving away too.
Ooh.
I think he said
I like some of my favorite T-shirts.
I mean, I've got the secret peep cam in the green room. Cory, it's a hoodie, tee, and a hat. Is that what you said? Yep. He gives us a big thumbs up from the green room. And just to
Did
give
you
you
tell him his mic's unmuted?
Yeah, his mic. Just to give you an idea how big these this duffel bag is. This is. Oh, why do I hear your phone?
I don't know. Why?
Your volume's on. This has become my go-to travel bag. It's huge. So we'll be giving away that and a matching backpack. And we can throw in a Guardian Apparel hoodie, hat, and tee into those too. So tag your friends, share them, get them in here. We're going to be right back after this quick commercial break.
Guys, it's Star Wars holiday season.
It is. It's only season.
Have you seen
that
one?
Hi, this is Virgil from Historic Blast Camp Paintball and Airsoft, and you're watching the Valken Debrief.
And we are back. Episode number 69 with our special guest, as you see his beautiful face on the monitor, Cory Haynes from Guardian Apparel.
What's up, guys?
Oh man, you got good sound, man. I'm jealous of your good sound.
Yeah, we do a podcast in my office once a week, so I'm just stealing their setup for the night.
Oh, gotcha.
Are you a firearms instructor expert?
Am I?
Yes.
No, I'm very mediocre when it comes to firearms.
Oh, come on. You have a podcast. You have a social media, law enforcement. You should be an expert.
I need to start shooting videos at a high frame rate so it looks like I'm moving real fast? Because I can do that, I think.
Yeah, 60 frames will do it. Just tweak it just a bit.
Yeah, we'll do that. So we can go ahead and start that rumor tonight that I am the foremost firearms expert. At least better than, Cool Thornton. I don't even know if he's watching yet, but
Oh, we need to tag him.
yeah, definitely get him in here.
Let's see. I'm gonna tag him.
Oh man,
Where is he?
Oh,
at?
Dylan's in here. Wow.
Which
Dylan
Dylan?
pops in like Dylan's Seabury.
Oh,
he's like in here like once a quarter.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine, so he's kind of
nice. He's a good guy. He's good.
Support me and or make fun of me.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Cory.
Yeah, no problem.
So, folks that are watching, get your questions ready for Cory and Guardian Apparel. But to kind of help those that have not had the pleasure of meeting the CEO, the COO, and the CFO of Guardian Apparel.
BAMF.
The only guy in the shop.
HMFIC. Tell our folks a little bit about your background.
So we'll just start after high school, I guess. I joined the military, ended up in the 101st Airborne. Did that for 40 years, 2 deployments in the infantry, not messing around with anything goofy like the cav.
What's the difference between the cavalry and the infantry again?
Oh boy.
Well, one actually does work, and the other one is the cavalry. So I couldn't tell you anything about it. No, that's all for Woodcock. We give him a hard time about it.
Oh, I know where that one was headed.
Yeah. No, I got out after that. Tried to stay out, and then a buddy of mine called me up about a year later, said he was getting redeployed, reactivated. So I got in the reserve. Ended up as actually an infantry instructor in the reserve, which is rare because there's no infantry in the reserve, if you don't know that. But I got to keep my job title there. I didn't have to transition into anything else. During that time, I started trying to get on the police department. That whole process was a mess because they had a hiring freeze here in Oklahoma City for like 5 years, but I finally got on in 2012. During that time, started I was a graphic designer. I did a bunch of odds and ends in between. I interned at a couple different places as a graphic designer. Nothing really stuck until I ended up at a screen printing shop. And then I did that for about a year and a half. I got laid off, and I just thought to myself, I already know how to do it, and I think I could do it better. So I started my business, which at the time it was called Airborne Image, because I was trying to do web design, graphic design, a couple other things, and just kind of stuck with the t-shirt thing. And then we switched it over to Guardian Apparel, I think 2012-ish. And then it's just kind of been history since there. I've been on the department for coming up on 7 years, and we've been in business for about 8. So.
Oh wow! So you actually had the business before you were hired on with OCPD?
Yeah. I took a small loan from a family member and bought like a tiny little manual setup.
He took money from family.
Oh, I know, dude. It's so bad. No, I've got a frugal mom who never spends money, so she had some laying around for me. But she's never gone in the red. I've always taken care of her, so. She's a partner in it. She does all the finance and tax work because I'm too stupid to work with numbers. But no, it's
So you're saying she hates airsofters more than you do?
I don't know. It's about 50-50. No, I don't think she really knows too much about the airsoft. She just knows when the AMS orders come in because it's always a race to the finish.
Oh my goodness. Tim Green says, Cav, the next best thing to a unicorn and glitter.
What? You guys were like dumping glitter on loadouts at AMS or something?
Yeah. I thought they actually rode unicorns.
We gotta get rid of He's finally forgiven me for that. Finally. After 2 years, he's finally forgiving me from glitter bombing. Hashtag FRIC.
Oh my goodness.
Now I can see comments.
Yeah, now they're rolling.
Oh, there we go. Robbie Russo, making fun of you is easy. Prove me wrong.
That's like 50 comments back.
I know, right?
Is that him making fun of me?
I don't know.
No, it's Dylan. He's making fun of Dylan.
Oh.
Glitter bomb. Oh my goodness. So, told us about the Army, the PD, the business. When did you get into airsoft?
Well, so when I got out in 2007 off active duty. And like I said, I really didn't do much for a year. And then I started interning as a graphic designer. I came across a YouTube video of like dudes in Japan playing. I was like, man, that looks super cool. So I called up a buddy of mine. We figured out, where we could order them. I think we ended up ordering them from Evic. And we just ran around and shot each other in the backyard. And then we started showing those guns to other people, and they started buying them. And we ended up building up a group of people in Oklahoma City, about 25 guys that get together every weekend and play. And we ended up linking up with a group in Norman. And it kind of just grew from there. And then I got out pretty much altogether because everybody moved away or went back into the military that I played with. And 2000 and I want to say it was like 13 or 14, whenever ESR 3 was. That was my first AMS event. I'd gotten an order from, what was it at the time? It's T1 Airsoft now, whatever it used to be. TA. It used to be TA, now it's T1. They had placed it. What? Yeah. No, they had placed an order, and I went there to meet with them. And there was a guy talking about AMS events and stuff there, and we got to talking about me being in the military because they had another military guy working there at the time. And he was like, my son just got a new job. He's not going to be able to make it. You can just have this ticket. It's local. It's in Oklahoma, so it's only like 3 hours away. And then I've just been hooked ever since. Like I went on a whim and just kind of got hooked into it.
Nice. Dylan's in here like, hey, show some of your great, sweet artwork, which we are. Every time you speak, I'm showing some of the projects that you've been working on. For example, you couldn't see it, but the one that you did for Nicholas from the Highway Patrol, that shirt. Yeah, that was a bad deal. His dad is a guy named Bruce Dees, runs the COPS organization here in Oklahoma. They're a national organization. But his son, who I went to school with for a little bit, was actually killed about 2 years ago by a drunk driver while he was working an accident on the highway. So that was like a memorial shirt for him. So you've got the big machine now out in the workshop. So I think we got a little photo of that. That thing is huge. How are you doing printing before you got this monstrosity? Like I said earlier, we got this. It was a manual setup. It had 6 arms on it, and I think four or six colors. But everything was just pulled manually with a squeegee. So it was all by hand. You had to register it by hand. There was nothing pneumatic, nothing was servo driven, nothing like that. And going full speed on that thing, I could probably do maybe 101 color shirts an hour. And now on the new machine, we can do about 750. In an hour? Yeah. Holy. Yeah, God. We ran it as fast as we could to see how fast we could do 100 shirts. I think we did it in like 8 or 9 minutes. How many, platforms is on that machine? That one has 8. It has 8 pallets, and then it has 6 colors. You lose one of the stations because you have to have a flash dryer to cure it. So technically, we can only do 5. But it's more than you need for most orders. There's not very many people out there that want like a 15 color shirt. Wow, 15 color shirt. Yeah, and they make machines that get up into the millions of dollars that can run 50, 60 colors. They're just these big oval presses, but nothing I'll ever be able to afford. Yeah.
I just run an inkjet printer type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, just to go to Walmart and get those little transfer things and iron them on. Robbie Russo says you do shirts for Milsim Media. I can't get it out as well. Yeah, we've done a couple orders for Milsim Media. It's kind of interesting how T-shirts got me into airsoft, and then airsoft kind of grew me when it came to printing T-shirts. We've printed for tons and tons of companies. We've printed for Evic, Classic Army a couple times, G&G, Elite Force. Whether it's because they're sponsoring events, and we have to go back and forth with them to get stuff approved. We did Airsoft Con, not this year, but the year before. So we've done a bunch. We've done some for teams, some for stores. So and then AMS. AMS is our biggest one, and then Milsim Media is on there too. Oh, cool. And Moguns. We've done some printing for them as well. Oh, nice. Yeah. Hey, we got Craig from GamePod in the house. Viewers, if you got questions for Cory, anything goes. And you get bonus points if it's any comments against the cavalry.
which
Double
Woody
points.
is not in here. You know what?
It's Christmas.
No.
I'm telling you, all the guys who went to reindeer games had to give up something for this month of December.
You know, when I see him blowing up another chat and he's not in here, there's no excuse. There's no
I had to
forgiveness
steal my wife's car to get to reindeer games, and the deal was I had to detail it when I got back. Because my truck it's not weatherproof, so I can't transport boxes, so I got to take a rescue.
Fine dust from all those tank trails.
Dude, it was terrible. I think I spent about 6 hours getting all the dust out of there.
And, you know, it was dry, but I'd rather have Fort Hood dry in the winter than muddy.
Yeah. I didn't go to the one the year before, but I went to the one 2 years back. And yeah, it rained and it was cold. It's pretty miserable.
Smoke doesn't work in the rain.
No.
Well, yeah, that 2 years ago, Cory, because I was leading PSA, it was you go walking in the woods, all those pine needles mix with the mud, and you end up having these big platforms underneath your shoes just stuck to
Oh, dude, it was gross.
So you have a pretty dope setup there in your studio. What are some of the things you have in there that help you with your podcast?
Well, we've done like these little posters you can see behind me. They've got soundproofing on them. We've soundproofed the room for the most part. Not like crazy. We didn't cover every square inch of it, but enough to knock down the reverb because it's just a square office. So it was really bad when we first moved in here after we built the house. We've got soft boxes for lighting. We have like spotlights, like you can see the little blue one back here. It's infantry blue. I put it up there for Woodcock.
Nice.
See it glimmering off the CIB. He'll never know what it's like to have one of those. So
he never will.
No, he never will. Maybe a cab. But anyway, no, and we've got a soundboard, and we've got six mics that we run on arms, kind of like this one. Our last episode, which it was 56, so we're a few weeks behind you guys. We had 6 people on, so we can run 6 people through that soundboard, and it's a weekly show. Top of the Dude Chain. I was told to shout it out by my brother-in-law. He started it about a year ago.
It's called Top of the Dude Chain?
Yeah, it was he was walking through like a novelty store, and it was on a tank top, and his wife, my sister, told him he couldn't buy it and wear it, and he bought it and he wore it, and he got kicked out of one of the restaurants on the ship because it didn't meet their dress code. So the thing kind of stuck. I mean, it's stupid, but it's just it's just a podcast where we talk about anything, I guess, guy related. Even though the last episode was just our wives yelling at us.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So have you done anything else out of the studio besides that podcast? Any kind of editing, recording, or anything else?
Couch casting.
Well, what's funny is we had all of our wives sitting on like a futon I have in my office, and there was like a table in between it, and then all the arms came out from the table so they could talk into the mics. And I sent out a picture of the couch and the mics, before they were here, just empty seats. And the name Podcasting Couch kind of stuck with it. So that's what we call it for our guests now. They're on the podcasting couch. But no, I mean, I mainly use it just for my artwork for the business, and then just for the podcast whenever we get together to shoot that.
And, speaking of artwork, if none of you follow Cory on Instagram, it is at Guardian Tees, Tees, on Instagram. He posts a lot of his doodles, and his doodles are amazing. I mean, he calls them a doodle, but I'm just going. I mean, he did a bunch of the Marvel Universe characters, and I was just like, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
They're okay. I'm still learning how to do the digital painting on my phone. It was my wife's idea for me to do those after Stan Lee died, because we were going to put them on canvas and put them in our theater room in the house, because it's just blank. We don't have anything in there because we're too lazy to decorate. So that was her idea. Kind of got me inspired to start doing that work. But yeah, if you look at my Instagram page, it looks like I have ADHD because it's like T-shirts for a week, then airsoft for a month, and then some doodles. It's just there's no rhythm to it.
You don't have a social media manager yet?
No, I'm terrible at it. I was proud of myself because I got up to 2,100, and I've been there for about 2 years now. So.
Oh yeah, I can always tell. It's like, He's on night shift and he's bored right now. He's doodling.
Yeah.
At least he's not cutting reports.
Yeah, winters on the police department can get pretty boring.
So, I mean, how long have you been an artiste? When do you remember, like, the first stuff you started doodling?
I mean, I think I started getting into it like first or second grade because it had I forget what it's called, Reflections. I think it's like a national, kind of an art contest for like grade schoolers. So I can remember competing in those. In the first year I drew it, like I think I ended up getting like second in our district, and it just kind of stuck from there. I just kept drawing instead of paying attention in class.
Well, I mean, isn't that, what we do when we're, in elementary school and get bored? It's like we pass notes, we scribble on our textbooks.
Yeah, people just look down on it a little bit more when you're in college and you're still doing it. So, the 2 years that I attempted to go, yeah, I mean, it's just there was only one little brief period where I quit drawing, and that was pretty much on deployments. I didn't paint, I didn't draw. I got out of it altogether. And then it wasn't until after I got out and started going back to school that I got back into it. Because I tried to do web design, tried to do like graphic design, and then kind of incorporated those into the business that I have now.
Gotcha. And man, we got a lot of people joining us. Potter's hopped in. We got Big G, Gino in the house. We got Aaron Miller from Mohawk Tactical. Aaron, where's Bodie? Ooh, Top. Top is watching.
I see somebody commented, next on Live PD, Cory Haynes. Live PD was actually filming, not in Oklahoma City, but in our sister city, Tulsa, up north, and they kicked him out. They kicked the show out of the department, so they went somewhere else.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of show, share the show. Look, I got this big duffel bag to give away, plus a backpack, and we got some, for the Guardian Apparel, is it like their choice of design or what?
I mean, if we want to do it that way, we can do it that way. We made a Supreme knockoff hoodie with it just says Milsim on it, and we did a shirt, and both of them sold really well. I was going to give away those, or we can just do a gift card, and they can pick out whatever they want.
Oh, we have that one actually. There you go. It's right up on the screen next to your face. So I don't know.
Milsim, bruh.
I know, it's some Asian dude in a black jacket holding a gun.
Yeah. Is that Mendoza?
Yeah, it's Mendoza. So, but yeah, no, it's got that nice little Milsim. So, yeah, we can do Milsim hoodie and tee. Would the ball cap be like the one you're wearing?
Yeah, that's got our 2018-2019 logo on it. We switched it up a little bit.
No, literally the one you're wearing.
Yeah, no. There you go.
I have a really cool
one.
No,
like we're going to take the one off your head and we're going to ship it to them.
I have a really cool one of those with a C3 logo on it.
I know, right?
Got some sweat on it. I don't know if they want it. This one's kind of nasty.
Josh was saying he's got that hat with the Airsoft C3 logo on it.
Yeah, funny story with that is I actually went to get these hats made, and I've used this company for years, and they've had my logo for years. And I asked them to make. I bought these hats, dropped them off, said, "Hey, I want my more recent logo on there." They said, "All right, cool." And I go to pick up 50 of these hats, and they've got the Airsoft C3 logo on them because I had done hats for them whenever they did the C3 Underground and a couple other events. There's another company that I printed shirts for. But so I just called them and I was like, "Hey, you guys want some hats at cost?" And they took them. So yeah, there's some similar hats running around at some Airsoft events right now.
They're so nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you, Cory.
Yeah.
If you hadn't seen it already, Javier asked, "Why do infantrymen vets always sit with their back to a wall or where they can see the door?"
For me, that's not an infantry thing. That's a cop thing. There's only like 3 restaurants that are open because I work night shift. Like I'll go to work tonight at 9:30, and I'll work till 7:30 in the morning. But when we go to eat, I mean, we're always like in the back room, in the back corner, and nobody wants to sit with their back to the door.
Yeah.
So that really didn't start whenever I was in the military, just because you're not carrying all the time. But once you are and you're in uniform, you're kind of a soft target when you're eating. So you kind of want to position yourself accordingly.
No, I get it. I mean, do you ever think when you retire from the force that that hypervigilance, that awareness will ever go away, calm down? At least?
Yeah, I still got a ways to go, so I don't know. Probably, unless I go blind. I've already kind of started that process. Then it won't really matter. I'll just spend most of my time trying not to run into things.
You can see again.
Well, yeah, for now. I have my next surgery comes up middle of next month, so we'll see. We'll see if that sticks around.
Ooh, Dalton Hawk Gillum says you should do a spin-off show of those Milsim apparel called Live Milsim.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get on that right away.
Yeah, I'll knock that out.
Oh, you impressed Kevin Callie Rudolph. He said he just checked out your Instagram, and wow, those are some fancy doodles.
Well, thanks, Kevin. I try. What's nice about doing digital painting and digital drawing is there's an undo button. So I tried doing oil painting back like in the 9th or 10th grade. It's the most frustrating thing in the world because once you make a mistake, you got to wait about 10 to 15 hours for the paint to dry. So digital painting is definitely the way to go.
And you can do layers.
Yes, and layers. The Galaxy Note 8 is like the mother of all artist smartphones.
How big is that screen?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think they're like 7 inches maybe. And then I've got this is a drawing pad right here that's 13 inches that I do my professional stuff that I do for orders and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Speaking of orders, have you ever had any fun commissions that you've had the opportunity to work on?
You mean like other than yours?
Oh, yes. So all we'll say about that is Cory designed a patch for me that I will have at SHOT Show. So he did the design, and Who Shot First is doing the printing. It's like a whole collaboration.
Oh yeah, I use those guys all the time. I like doing commission work because it's kind of fun guessing what the image is that person has in their head, because you kind of threw a million things at me, and it's kind of like you just toss them all together, and then sometimes what you thought you nailed, you didn't, and you got to go back and you got to do it 1,000 more times. But no, I'm just giving you a hard time. No, it's fun working on commission pieces. I don't do a whole lot of commission pieces. Normally it's somebody telling me like, hey, I don't know what I want on this shirt, but it needs to have this. And so it kind of gives me the freedom to do whatever I want, toss it on there, and normally they like it. So sometimes they don't. Sometimes I've got to make some changes. But like with yours, you had like a very specific idea in mind. So just kind of trying to chase that down is a fun process.
You got to be in my head.
I don't think I want to be there.
It's not a fun place to be.
Yeah.
Well, it's only fun for me. And for Darth Valken. Josh likes to be in my head.
Yeah.
As he shakes his head no. Do you have any airsoft bucket list venues that you want to do? You want to try out?
Oh, man. I've been trying to get out to an Overwatch game. My buddy Cole down in Texas and Sean have gone to them, and they said that they're pretty great. So I want to try and get out there. GamePod has always looked kind of cool. I want to make it out there at least once. But other than that, I mean, I'm pretty happy with AMS. Like every time I go to their games, I either have a good time with the people or I have a good time, playing. Most of the time, it's both. So I don't know. I'm not as hardcore into airsoft as a lot of the other people I hang around. So, because trying to work around my police schedule and the t-shirt thing kind of makes it difficult. But I try to get out to, at least 3 to 4 events a year. And last year was nothing but AMS. But this next year, I'm trying to get out to Overwatch. I'm going to try to go to AMS and maybe another local event.
Well, there is... Oh my goodness. We have a viewer from Portugal. Francisco.
Nice.
So there is a Centurion Milsim just announced the first weekend in May in Pitcher, Oklahoma.
Well, that would be something to look into then.
Yeah, just north of Miami.
Oh, so it's right up there.
Most likely, if you've ever come from this side of the country heading towards Broken Home, you've driven through it.
Yeah. Yep. That would be interesting. I'm glad to see that there's a lot more events popping up in the Midwest that aren't 15 hours away.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, pictures that
abandoned mining town.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they mined too close to the water table and contaminated it.
Nice. No, that seems like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and but that's about how far a drive from you in Oklahoma City?
Depending on how far north of Miami it is. Miami's like 3 hours.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
3 hours
literally
an hour outside.
just south of the border.
Okay, so probably 4.5 hours. Reasonable.
That's not too bad for a Milsim event.
No, not at all. I think the shortest drive I had this year was Broken Home, 3.5 hours, and then the longest one was Copperhead. It was right under 11.
You love Copperhead, don't you?
Oh, dude, that's my favorite place to play because you can do the indoor stuff. I prefer to play outside, like in the woods. I like to have the space to get out, maneuver around, and actually throw some infantry tactics into it before it turns into this huge gaggle of dudes just running in and spraying around corners. So that's my.
What about the whack-a-mole? You gotta love the skirmish line, the whack-a-mole.
Yeah, that too. But no, I actually like D-Day, where I think a lot of people don't, just because it's kind of a brutal terrain out there. But yeah, Place New Mexico is definitely the best place to play because there's just so many buildings and there's so many wide open spaces. There's roads that you can actually get the POVs on the field.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, it's the perfect mix for a Milsim event, I think. And then this year was amazing because it was like 70 degrees and no wind.
And I like that you don't have these high elevated kill holes
right.
that can shoot you from 200 feet away. And
myself and Cole, we spent a lot of time on top of the buildings. Like we ran around like a sniper team, and he broke our sniper like 2 shots into it.
This is amazing.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this is awesome because he drilled some guy just way out there, just a ridiculous shot, and then like the very next shot, it was just done. So we just grabbed our rifles and just bounded from rooftop to rooftop and just tore people up all day. It was awesome. Like I think that was easily the best event I've been to.
So Carl has a question. What are some of the programs you use when designing your shirts? How in depth can you get with screen printing?
It kind of depends on what you mean by in depth. There's a couple different processes where you can pull like a bunch of different colors out of just 4 or 5 color. They call it just process colors, where you print wet on top of each other, kind of like a CMYK printer. It uses that same technique. You have to have special software in order to pull it apart and do it correctly. I personally don't do that, but there are people that do. So I think that takes you out to like 256 colors. So you can do some pretty unique, crazy-looking designs if you go that route. I use Corel, which sounds weird, in the time of Adobe and all that stuff. But
it used to be
Corel,
like the software, especially for digitizing and like shirts, digitizing, laser engraving.
Yeah, because and for whatever reason, Corel just talks to everything better than Adobe does, especially when you're getting into like weird markets like Japanese machinery and stuff like that. I don't know why that is, but I started out on Corel, and I've always been on Corel. I still use Adobe. Like I still do stuff in Photoshop and Lightroom and Illustrator and all that stuff, but most of the time it's just easier for me to go through Corel because that was what I was brought up on.
Man, I remember Corel, but I just keep getting force-fed what other people tell me to
I started on like Corel like 5, and then whenever I started doing graphic design for the screen printing company I was working at downtown, it was like X5 it was X3, and now I'm on X8 maybe. So I've been on it forever, and it's just the workflow for me is so easy to work through now that I'm just probably never going to switch.
Gotcha. What are your plans for 2019, whether it be Guardian or Airsoft or on the force or family goals?
Oh man, survival for the most part.
you do have a lot going on.
Well, I have 2 kids, and they are both, they're pretty decent little athletes. So they're ate up with basketball and softball. So that eats up a lot of time with their practices and their games and the tournaments and all that stuff.
You doing team shirts yet?
Oh, God, dude, I hate team shirts so much.
No. You hate team moms.
Well, so, and yeah, I do. Here's the thing. It's like when you work in production and you like the flow of just like, hey, here's your design. Let's print it 1,000 times and put it out the door. You're happy with that. Whenever it's team shirts and it's like, all right, well, here's 30 shirts. It has a front, but we need a different number and different name on every single shirt. Like that $2,000 you made on the 1,000 shirts, in an hour. Well, now you're going to make 400 on 30 shirts in like 10 hours, and I hate it, but I do it. It's definitely a different process, though.
That's fun. It's got to be fun to do it for your kids.
Yeah, and I've actually we did a cool one at the end of the season last year where I had all the girls sign a piece of paper. I scanned it, digitized it, and so on the back it had like all the girls' signatures on it, and then their logo on the front, and they all really enjoyed that. But as far as screen printing goes, I mean, obviously we're always trying to grow our business, and it's grown every year pretty exponentially. Last year was probably the first year where it slowed down a little bit, but that was because of my surgeries, and being partially blind makes it hard to register artwork. So that kind of threw a stick in my spokes. But we're trying to transition into doing some more online retail sales. Most of what we do now is just like local police stuff that we sell online, but we're trying to branch out to do some more stuff.
You should talk to Derek about that online retail stuff. He's the master, man. Dude, he's been crushing.
He got into the automation first, and it's just like he could be like, we'd be out at a game on the weekend, and it's like, ding, ding,
yeah,
order fulfilled, print ticket.
Yeah, and a lot of that's directed, or it's connected to being really good at social media, which again I'm not. I control and I can talk trash as good as anybody else, but as far as like building up a following, I just I don't understand the algorithms or what I need to be doing to build that. So that's kind of where I shoot myself.
You're not prepared to sell your soul yet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that and it's just like I said, the time that it takes to actually go out, get all the shots, edit them, get them up there like on a routine, time frame. I just haven't nailed that down yet.
Yeah.
But I mean that's pretty much it for the business. I mean we're always trying to grow it, trying to put out more of our own designs. And then as far as the department goes, I dropped a packet to put in for our tag team, which is what a lot of other agencies call SWAT, last year. And then I lost my vision 2 days before the tryout started.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. And then all the surgery started and all that stuff. And I wasn't able to lift or work out for about 5 months because they didn't want me lifting more than 12 pounds because the pressure it puts on your eyes. Mm-hmm. And so I'm still recuperating from that. But the plan is to go out this next October. They do it every October. So that's my short-term goal for the department. I don't really have any long-term goals yet because I still like patrol. Just the street-level stuff is what I enjoy. I got to do some undercover stuff this last summer, and I really enjoyed that, but the schedule just wasn't.
Beard game was on point during that time.
Dude, I miss it so much. And what's funny is, like, my wife hated it when I initially started growing it. And then, like, once it got to a certain length, man, it's like a aphrodisiac attached to your face. Like,
it gets soft, and they're like...
Yeah, and I think it just covers up the ugly really well.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're so damn ugly.
Corey, that needs to be a shirt.
Yeah. No,
that's why my dad's worn a beard for like 40 years.
It was ridiculous. Like, I'm obviously, I mean, if you look at my face, I'm not the guy who gets all the compliments, but once I got the beard grown out, like, it was just like every day, like, somebody was like, oh, I love your beard. Oh, your beard looks great. Or just making other kind of comments. And the second I shaved it off, it all stopped. It's all gone now. And then my chin somehow shrank like 3 sizes while I had the beard. That was the weirdest thing in the world.
You look too young to be available.
Yes.
I can't shave because, like, if I come into the office after I've shaved, my boss is like, you look like you're 14. What happened to the beard?
Yeah, no, my chin to me, which is, I mean, I got a pretty decent sized chin, like, still feels super small after shaving the beard off. So, no, I enjoy doing undercover work. Buying drugs is always fun.
You can do it legally in Colorado.
Yeah, well, not crack cocaine, probably.
Not crack. Kevin Callie Rudolph.
Don't do drugs, I guess I need to say that, right? Don't do drugs.
Callie Rudolph actually has a question. What happened with your eyes, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, so we'll go back to the very beginning, and I'll try to not make this too graphic, but a buddy of mine was driving out east on Wilshire Road, which is like a main thoroughfare here in Oklahoma City, and he comes across like a car just kind of spun out in the middle of the road. Well, he gets out, and this lady's crawling around in a ditch, and he goes to check on her, and she's been shot in the back of the head.
Oof.
So they call us over there. We all go flying over there. I was the only rifle operator, so we called a canine. Canine requires that a rifle operator gets on the ground and walks around with them. So I dismounted with my rifle, and at the time I was wearing glasses because my vision's been slowly getting worse over the years. So I started wearing glasses about 6 months prior to this incident. And so we get out, we're dismounted, and it's super humid. And going from like the air-conditioned car to outside, it just like I couldn't see anything. And as I'm walking, like I'm having to like take my glasses off, flip them up and down, like I'm trying to do anything to get the fog off. And we ended up getting the guy. And then the next day, like I just told my wife, I was like, I'm getting LASIK. I'm not wearing glasses. I'm not going to go through that again. You know, working nights, working in the humidity, it's too dangerous. So I went and I got a consultation the next day. And the guy was like, yeah, you're a pretty good candidate. You know, PRK is always safer, but LASIK will get you back to work faster. So I was like, cool, let's do LASIK. So I paid the extra money. Thank God I bought the insurance. It was like an extra $400. So if you ever get LASIK, definitely buy the insurance. We did the surgery. Everything was fine. I went back to work 2 nights later. And everything's still kind of foggy. And my buddy who had it at the exact same place was like, no, that's normal. It'll be foggy for a week or two. And then I'm driving around that night, and as I'm driving, like all of a sudden lights like start exploding, like starburst, like they would streak and then just like burst almost is kind of what it looked like. And kind of like if you've ever seen like old anime, like when the cars are like swerving back and forth, how the streaks stay behind them. Like weird stuff like that. And it almost looked like I was looking through a rainy windshield, but obviously there was no rain. And so I pulled over and I called my buddy. I was like, dude, I can't see anything. You're going to have to guide me back to the station. So I just followed him going like 5 miles an hour back to the station. And after that night, I was off the streets for 6 months. And we did the initial surgery. So that was one. We scraped off dead cells and put stem cells on my eyes twice. The fourth time, they amputated the flap in my left eye because I developed necrosis on the flaps. So they were just essentially melting away. And I still have a little bit in my right eye, but the plan now is I'm going to go to Canada because there are better doctors up there and they have better equipment, and they're going to do PRK, and that's supposed to fix everything, and they're confident it's going to work. So that's going down.
PRK, that's where they like replace the actual lens, right? Focus on lens.
Well, that's where they don't cut a flap; they just grind through it, essentially. Yeah, so it sounds terrible, and the recovery time is longer than LASIK, I think, by like a month or so. So it took me off the street for 6 months. I missed tryouts. I had to sit down and just take reports, which is the worst thing you can do as a cop, especially if you like to be active. So I just raided the vending machine, gained a lot of weight. It was freaking terrible. Yeah, and I mean now they built these like hybrid lenses. They're like a cross between like hard scleral lenses, if you know what those are. And I forget what they're called. It's something synergized hybrid something, but they're like $8,000 contacts essentially.
And you have to put them in with like a suction cup?
Yeah, with a plunger. You got to put them in with a plunger. You have to fill them up with contact solution and jam it into your eye, and they dry out so fast. It's terrible.
Then it hurts because it forces your eye into a certain shape? Or like it's measured to your eye, but it holds the position so that it can focus better?
Yeah, essentially what you're trying to do is trap that solution between your lens and the surface of the contact. Because what my eye looks like is essentially the way they've explained it to me. It's like a Lay's like Ruffles or something chip. So you got to fill in those low areas with the solution so that it kind of balances out and gives you a smooth surface for the light to come through. Because what was happening initially is that my layers and tissue like around my cornea, it was dying and bundling up underneath the LASIK flap. So whenever light would come in, it would work like a fly or like spider vision, and it would just refract light all over the place. So I was seeing like quadruple, I was seeing blurry, like colors were all jacked. It was, it's
scary.
Pretty, no, it's really scary. especially for somebody, I mean, my living is made, doing artwork and doing accurate registrations on T-shirts. So.
Yeah. There's actually another question for Cory. Can Cory finally admit fire department is better than police department? Miss you guys, Jason Bagsby.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth on that forever. No, the fire department's not better. It never will be.
You don't get to carry a gun.
Yeah, no, I noticed. I haven't seen any fire department designs.
Yeah, I don't know why. No, I've actually printed for our local fire
Flaming
department.
asshole.
Yeah, I actually I was one of 12 guys on the department that got picked up to do urban search and rescue for our department. So I actually got to cross over and work with the firefighters for a while. We worked through a tornado back in 2014, I think it was. And so no, nothing but respect for firefighters. We give each other a hard time, mostly because all they do is grill out, play volleyball.
And they did copy the blue line with the red line,
Oh, dude, the line things, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not super hardcore, like, all about the thin blue line thing. But yeah, it was ours first. But now you have, I've seen it go as far as like, there's the white line, I think, for like EMTs and stuff. And now there's like a yellow line, possibly, for like tow truck drivers and emergency workers, like stuff like that.
So it's like the new ribbon.
Oh, yeah. And then you have
everyone's going to have a color before it's over with.
Yeah, you have the green line for the military, and it's like, I thought they were yellow ribbons. Like, I don't understand.
Well, and then there's the pink cross that's combat controller.
I don't know. It's
Can we reserve the thin pink line for airsofters? Copyright.
Yeah, get on that.
Jason actually says that he's waiting to get accepted into the police academy.
Yeah, he saw the light. He knew he was making a mistake trying to be a firefighter. Funny story, I went through base camp T. I thought I wanted to be a firefighter. I went on a clinical. You have to work clinicals in an ER, so I did that. And then you have to do IMSA, and then you have to do the fire department. And once I actually did the clinical with the fire department, I was like, this job sucks. Sick people suck. I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to deal with sick people. I don't want to do the transport.
You don't want
stuff.
to try to put in. You don't want to try to put in a line when the ambulance is all over the place and they're vomiting and pissing and shitting everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, doing Army CLS and all that stuff. It kind of desensitizes you to vomit and poop and blood and all that. But the thing is like half these things that people are claiming are wrong with them are just illegitimate, and they're just trying to get rides downtown to the hospital. So it's aggravating more than anything. So I just decided nothing medical for me. I'll pick a gun back up and go do that.
And oh my gosh, we have a celebrity in the house.
Celebrity
stalking us, Mr. Red Wolf Mark.
Oh.
We saw you hop in there. Go get Maxi Lai. Make it a reunion.
He's not awake. Maxi Lai's not a party animal. He doesn't wake up.
Yeah, Mark still rocks some of my tees from time to time. I see him.
I know. That's on that channel.
He orders them in a small, so
he can look all swole.
Hey, Schmedium is our most popular.
Schmedium. That's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. I wear a Schmedium with my joggers.
All right, so we've gotten to that time of the show for the giveaways.
Okay, do the giveaways.
Yeah, we're doing the giveaways.
Let's skip the events first since we're going to a holiday.
Yeah, because nothing has really changed for events, and there's nothing happening till like January 22nd. So, and I don't feel like torturing you right now.
And tomorrow's leg day.
Tomorrow's leg day.
I'll torture myself.
That's the worst one.
So it is my first leg day. I kid you not. I'm pushing the cart in Walmart, and we're going down to get like motor oil for the Nissan. And my wife asked me a question, and when she turns back, I'm gone on my face. The cart's rolling.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a good idea to do leg day. Like there's times when it's so slow, like we can go and do a little bit of lifting while we're on duty, like during our dinner break. So we went and hit legs really hard. And the next night, we were trying to get out on a call, and my buddy just falls out of his car, just rolls out, like his legs just
That too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I thought like my radiator was leaking, so I just tried to like look under to see what was happening, and it was just like.
Yeah, leg day sucks.
Yes.
So we gotta ask our AI mod to
savage comment.
Well,
it's savage, Javier. It's not like
vulgar.
This is not the barracks, so it's not the nastiest comment. It's the savage comment.
Yes. So we need so everybody that comments gets a chance to win. We're going to draw a name from all the comments, so we can punch into our little AI mod computer, a name to win some Guardian swag. And so,
well, since medium's the most popular size, that explains why most airsofters don't get enough blood to their head.
Yeah, that's why they're all heat casualties.
That's what it is.
All heat casualties.
That's what it is. Oh my gosh, I missed this one. Carl said, "Infantry, the medics' bullet stoppers."
Yeah, not untrue.
Viva Ferris from Doug Smith. Oh, that should make Javier happy. War Game Oklahoma. They're going to have part 2 this year. Josh Brown is reminding us about War Game Oklahoma. That's actually also done, Cory, at D-Day.
Yeah, I missed it this last time around. But
Well, you were at Copperhead, so you had an excuse.
Oh, that's right. Same weekend.
Yeah. Dylan says, hoping to see you the 30th if you can make it, Cory.
Yeah, they have a... he's got a really good contact with a guy. I want to say his name is Travis Osborne. I hope that I'm not messing that up. The guy was an SF medic, and he teaches like some super high-speed classes. So shout out to him. And if you guys are in the area, I think it's like $100, $120, 6-hour class. The dude's absolutely legitimate. So check that out.
So it looks like we have a winner for the Guardian Apparel, Doug Smith. And he's got a beard. He
knows from personal experience.
He's got a... Yes.
Oh, well, then I'm jealous.
I know. So Doug is signed up for the Valken Alliance. So I'll look up Doug's information. Thank you for being a member, Doug. And I will forward his contact information over to you, Cory.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get you hooked up, man.
And should we go ahead and just give away a duffel bag and a backpack?
Not and a backpack.
Just a duffel bag?
Just sure, whatever.
We'll give somebody a choice. Duffel bag or backpack.
That works.
Because they're the same price. So, one or the other. So, let's see.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right, here we go. Let's see what the random... Come on. There's a lot of commenting. Seth says tomorrow is climb day.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are you climbing with Seth after legs?
Probably. I did it last time. That kind of sucked.
Well, that would be brutal.
Oh my goodness. All right. So what is up with my...
We were top tied. I'd be worried if it was lead climbing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So, we got Cory Parsons is the winner of a Valken Phantom luggage. So let's see. I got to write that down so I don't forget. So we got Doug Smith.
Your choice of a backpack or a duffel bag.
So Doug Smith for Guardian swag, and Cory Parsons for either a Phantom backpack or a Phantom duffel bag. And Cory, if you are watching, make sure you sign up for the Alliance at www.valkenalliance.com. Javier says, yeah, you should send Doug and his beard a prize. His beard is signed up for the Valken Alliance also.
Send you a sandalwood comb. How's that?
There you go.
Well, thank you much, Cory, for taking time out of your evening. I know you've got to go to work here shortly.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me on. It's fun.
Yeah, so be safe, and you don't know if you're going to be at SHOT Show.
I don't. I've always gone with the guys from Lead Slinger Whiskey. They've kind of been my ticket, and I don't know what their plans are this year. So we'll see. If they make it out there, sometimes I go with them. So it's all up in the air at this point.
All right, brother. Well,
if anything changes, let us know.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you guys know.
We'll definitely hang out. All right, Cory, have a good night. Everyone that's watching, thank you for joining us tonight. Follow us on social media on Instagrams, YouTube, and FaceSpace.
Instagram TV.
And have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yes.
Happy Hanukkah and Happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah. We don't say Happy Holidays.
No, it's straight to the point.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes, and
Valken Sports is dedicated to excellent customer service.
Thank you for calling Valken Sports.
With this simple principle in mind and an industry-leading 1-year warranty, Valken has grown from a single location to 13 distribution centers across the United States, Canada, and Europe. Fully staffed by skilled individuals, many of Valken's locations can assist customers with technical questions and warranty repairs. Valken Sports stands behind its products and is committed to delivering the best experience in the industry. To make this happen, Valken will do whatever it takes.